Hello everybody, Luke, and I'm back in with another movie review. I just watched Sisu. So what can I say about this movie before getting into the review? It's about a guy who kills Nazis, so I don't know how much more you want. If you're ready, let's get right into the review.
This is not about who's the strongest. This is about not giving up. We have a word for that in Finland.
So the movie is set during the last few days of World War II. It is about a Finnish gold miner who just struck gold. On his way to the bank, which is 500 miles away, he is stalked by a group of Nazis who want to take his gold. Of course, he doesn't want that, and he goes on a killing rampage, and it turns out that he actually is a complete badass. One of the strengths about this movie is that you don't know a lot about this man, and I think it's actually one of the first films when you truly still don't really know a lot about him even when the movie ends. I think films like Taken and John Wick, we know Liam Neeson, we know Keanu Reeves, so we already have our own preconceptions about them, but with this movie, I don't know who this actor is. It looks like it's a Finnish actor, so it kind of adds this idea of I truly don't know who he is. And on top of that too, very little dialogue is spoken from him besides the very end of the movie. The film is only 90 minutes long, so it's pretty short and it's succinct, but it's strong throughout the whole thing. What surprised me a lot about the movie too is actually the amount of detail that went into the look of it. Kind of like John Wick, the first one. I think a lot of people going into the movie was expecting, you know, a good action film. But John Wick surprised a lot of people with a cool look and cool set and cool scenery, and this movie does the same thing as well. There's nice long shots of this beautiful landscape, awesome shots of flaming buildings, and great effects as well. And of course, with all good action films, there's good action, but there's also good downtime as well. We could look at the first Taken, for example. I love the first Taken. It's a great plot, very similar to this, very similar to John Wick, about a guy who nobody knows who turns out to be a complete badass. But the thing is that what made that film great was there were still times when he was actually acting, talking to other people. Then in the second and third one, it just became a complete action flick with non-stop action, and you kind of lost that human connection. And even though there isn't a whole lot of dialogue with him, there are still slow moments with the main character in Sisu. You get to see him interact with other people, whether it's staring down someone or interacting with his animals. It's those human connections that make you care about the people. The people the film does not want you to care about are the Nazis. I actually think it's pretty hilarious. Right when the main character killed their first Nazi, the whole audience started laughing because it was just so gruesome and brutal, but almost in a comical way. They're so mean too. They start shooting at his dog. Don't worry, the dog does not die in this one, unlike John Wick. But they are just nasty, and obviously that's the point of the director. They wanted to make them really big villains, and they succeeded in that. What I found interesting about the movie as well was that with a lot of new action films like Mission Impossible or John Wick, you get a lot of action scenes kind of cut up throughout the film. You know, you get 30 minutes here, then a break, then 30 minutes here, then a break, then another 30 minutes at the very end. But with this film, because it's only 90 minutes, you really just kind of get this perfect arc. You get some action here and there, but then it mostly builds up to the climactic scene where you get all the action and you get to feel rewarded in a sense. All the action scenes are shot great as well. It kind of reminds me of a mix of John Wick and Taken. The thing about John Wick, which was so special, is that it was super smooth. You could see all the action. But with films like Taken or even The Bourne Identity, it was kind of shaky, which adds to the adrenaline of it. And I think you get a mix of both, which I actually prefer sometimes. I love the smooth shot of John Wick, but sometimes I do miss what was an action film about 2 decades ago. You know, the film is only 90 minutes, and like I said, it is about a guy who just kills Nazis, but I can't complain. This movie doesn't reinvent the wheel, but honestly, I'm okay with that. With all the films that I mentioned before, also films like Nobody, or like the Mission Impossible movies, it's like the Mortal Kombat fatalities, you know? Like, I get the new game and I think, oh, how original can they be? And then I see them and I'm like, oh, these things are just as good. It's the exact same thing with this movie. They stick to their strengths. Is it the craziest movie I've ever seen? No, but it's bloody, it's gory, it's fun. And it's only 90 minutes too, so it's a short, easy watch. All in all, I'll give this movie 3.5 out of 4 stars. I think it's really good, and it's fun to see with a bunch of people too, because they're all laughing and cheering on the main character. So that's a review. I recommend to go watch this movie. It's super fun. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like it. You can subscribe over here, or check out one of my other videos over here, and I will see you all next time.